A place to call one's own. Land, housing, property. Rights enshrined in the Constitution. One of the major factors is the effects of apartheid that still lingers. The demand for housing outnumbers provision, further hampered by pitfalls of, among others, corruption. The quest for access to land and housing has been at the centre of many service delivery protests countrywide. Backyard dwellers in Gugulethu and Phillipi recently took to the streets of Cape Town's townships. They are found in most communities where families live in zinc or wendy houses. These families say they cannot afford to pay huge amounts of rent each month to their landlords.
People of Gugulethu are fed up. We don't have land. We are in fact squashed in these hostels that we inherited from our great-grandparents, which were brought here through the Group Areas Act. Originally, we are from Kensington, Simonstown, Wynberg, and all of these spaces, you see. But we are brought here due to those segregation laws and everything, you see. So not what we are fighting for. We are not fighting for anything, but all these pieces of land that are here in Gugulethu and has never been occupied and has never been utilized. Now we want to put shacks in those places.
I've been waiting for a house for 26 years. There are things that as a man that I need to do, but I can't do them because I'm staying with my mother. I have to respect my mother. I've got 2 kids. When they talk, they can't say that is my father's house. Even myself, that is not my parents' house. That is my grandmother's house. So I need my own place so that my kids tomorrow can say, hey, that is my father's house. No one can tell me what to do. It's been for far too long.
The City of Cape Town says illegal land invasions cannot be allowed. The housing backlog in the province sits at around 500,000. Mayor Patricia de Lille has been meeting backyarders to discuss their concerns.
We are not enemies of one another. We are not enemies. We must live peacefully in this country. And that's why I'm asking that we must work together, because nobody is the enemy. We have defeated the enemy with the elections of 1994. And we must now work together as the community of Cape Town. But if you go and you keep on invading private land, there's nothing I can do as the mayor, because private land belongs to private owners. Wait. But what I'm saying, my brother, listen. What I'm saying is that we must go and talk to the private owners. That's what we must do. And I'm prepared to go with you to the private owners so that we can talk about that land.
At the Institute for Poverty, Land and Agrarian Studies at the University of the Western Cape, experts say all land issues should take place within the confines of the law. Researcher Ben Cousins says, however, there is an obligation on all spheres of government to come to the party.
We have to look not only at state-owned land, which could clearly be provided on quite a large scale, but we also have to look perhaps at private land. And it may be the case that in some cases where informal settlements have been established on privately owned land and it has very little market value at the moment, that may be a case where expropriation without compensation might be appropriate. I also think, however, that we need to look at state-owned enterprises. For example, in the middle of Cape Town, in the Culemborg area, we have 1,000 hectares of well-located land close to the center of the city, but Transnet is sitting on that land. It's part of their asset base, and they simply are doing absolutely nothing with it. And I think that should be changed.
Meanwhile, a group of residents from Phillipi have approached the Cape Town High Court with an application to force the City of Cape Town to give up some of its vacant land for housing purposes. Since 1994, between 4 and 5 million so-called RDP houses have been built nationally, but the demand continues to grow. Mariska Botha, SABC News, Cape Town.